AOC was asked to comment on the conversation about whether Justice Stephen Breyer should be encouraged to step down from his position while there is time for a Democrat to actually replace him. Here's what she had to say.
Your fellow Democrat, Mondaire Jones, says 82-year-old Justice Stephen Breyer should retire so that President Biden and Senate Democrats can fill his seat with a younger liberal successor. Do you think that Justice Breyer should step down after this term?
Well, I believe Representative Jones has a point, and we have had very difficult experiences with making, I believe, the opposite mistake. And especially if Senate Democrats are not going to pass reforms on HR 1, we cannot rely solely on a wish of winning elections, particularly in the Senate, when voting rights are under attack in Georgia, Arizona, and Texas, across the country. And if we're not going to pass HR 1 with the preemptive clauses that can roll some of that voter suppression attacks back, yeah, I believe that we should protect our Supreme Court, and I thought that should absolutely be a consideration.
So just to be clear, you do think that Justice Stephen Breyer should retire at the end of this term?
It's something I think about, but I would probably lean towards yes.
Okay, so just in response to the headlines that this has generated, let's bear in mind that her saying she leans towards yes in response to a question is a little bit different than her just spontaneously being like, dude, you gotta go. Yes. That said, she does seem to believe that he should step down. She's making, calculations about what's likely to happen in future elections, even assuming that they go the way they're supposed to and are not overthrown after all these laws. Francesca, what do you think?
I mean, it's a perfectly fine and normal and a smart thing to ask, which is that, yes, we protect the few liberal seats on the Supreme Court, and that, judging what Mondaire Jones said was like, have we not learned our lesson? And he was talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, RIP, dying at the age of 87, when it was clear that she probably should have retired under the Obama administration, right? And like, look, it's funny that even now, thinking about expanding the Supreme Court and how Biden sort of said he would do that or look into it, he's not gonna do that. Yep. He's not gonna do that. The least he can do then is please force a liberal justice to retire so you can appoint someone who is younger, so that we are not utterly bludgeoned by this handmaid's tale that the right is absolutely fixated on. And I say that like, it feels like it's funny, but it is so upsetting that on the right, there is a concerted effort. There is a decades-long process. There are dark money think tanks and groups who know exactly who they would replace every single justice with. They have them waiting in the wings. Yeah. They've been appointed under Trump or Bush. They know how they're going to completely control the Supreme Court, right? And we've been losing so hard on this when it comes to, and by losing, I mean the side of progress and the side of living in the 21st century has been losing so hard on this. So it's frustrating that we have to look to AOC, who is a young representative who's got only so much power, completely sidelined by her own party, to say, yeah, maybe we should kind of consider asking him to retire. Like that's our leadership on this.
Because, well, and I guess she and people like, Representative Jones are the only ones that can say that, because they're like the crazy radicals that are accurately, pragmatically understanding the current political situation and how tenuous even that one is. One Democratic senator getting sick or something in the wrong state, and that's it. No, we're done. We're not getting anything. And the only I totally agree. We should learn the lesson. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I think, definitely should have retired. That said, the only thing that's makes me a little bit less angry at her is, at least in the last few years of Obama's term, I don't think he would have gotten anyone anyway. Apparently, in hindsight, they weren't going to give him a justice, so maybe it wouldn't have even mattered. But that said, we ended up getting Amy Coney Barrett, and that's going to be a disaster for probably the rest of my time in media.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.